Do-Rag Wisdom here, folks, and today's Earth date is Y2K 17.06.21, the first day of summer, my all-time favorite time of year, when it's hot, dry, humid, sultry, whatever it is, hot. And I don't want any of you folks to worry about the results of the elections yesterday. I mean, the GOPutins won yesterday, and I expected this to happen. I mean, I was not surprised by Ossoff's defeat, and I was not surprised by the defeat of the other. But they both lost. The Democrats both lost. And this is one was in North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, in Georgia, and I knew that this was going to happen. This is the South, after all. And by the way, I don't hate people in the South. There are a lot of nice people in the South. I'm not trying to sound like generalizing people into one label. But it's down south, and in traditionally very strong GOP. And Ossoff lost, and the other fellow lost. And I realize that the Trumputin clown, the traitor Trump, is going to be pounding his chest like a malignant King Kong. Oh yeah, the Kremlin. And he doesn't realize, he's so stupid, he doesn't realize that the thing is, this is a Pyrrhic victory. Because unlike the past in these staunch, strong GOP areas, unlike in the past, right, where it was a 1, 2, 3 kind of thing, where they would win automatically, because of the Trump effect, they are working very hard to win. So where the Pyrrhic victory comes in for yesterday, in both cases, and especially in Georgia, the GOPutin had to spend a ton of money more than they wanted to. A ton! And last night, the pundits on MSNBC were talking about it. They didn't sound upset about the election results. They were saying that that in the future elections, there's a whole line of Democratic challengers to traditional Republican seats. I believe that Eddie Munster is being challenged. Here on Staten Island, where Joe Borelli has been running forever, he doesn't even show that he's Republican when he runs. Well, he's got somebody running against him, a Democrat called Schwartz, here on Staten Island. So what the pundits were saying, and what I agree with, and I know, from here on in, any special election that's coming up, the GOP is going to have to spend tons and tons and tons of more money. And they were saying last night, I think it was Lawrence O'Donnell, Lawrence, they were talking, they're going to have to drop out some of these GOPs. They'll say, hey, I'll retire. I don't have any, I can't afford this kind of money. Now, this is the age of Citizens United, where the contamination, the cancer of money, is raining down on our elections right now. So, the fact that these GOP creeps are saying they want to withdraw, for me, that's a fantastic thing, because in spite of all the money that's available to them through Citizens United and all these corporations, they don't want to do it. They don't want to bother with it. And in this yesterday's election, it wasn't a slaughter. It wasn't a landslide. They were saying that Ossoff in Georgia did as well as Hillary Clinton did. And the other guy in, I think, North Carolina, he was crawling up this GOPer's ass. So when they're saying, if the GOP comes on today and wants to tell you folks that they won, and this is showing that the GOP is firmly entrenched in our intestines to twist them every which way they want. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Because they're having a hard time. They had to bleed money, more money, in order to get this election yesterday. And as people say, hey, in a regular general election, the Democratic candidate doesn't need these districts alone. All right? What we're working on now, what we're mobilizing now for is the 2018 elections. Of course, we have a special election coming up in New York State about a constitutional convention that we have to vote no on. See, the Republicans, you know, unlike California, I know New York is a liberal state, but unlike California, we're contaminated by GOP. So do not worry about the result of yesterday's election, because they're going to have, from here on in, it's not going to be easy. Even in Republican, even in strongly, staunchly right-wing Republican areas, they're going to be fighting. They're going to have to fight for their position. I mean, especially when they find out what the health care, quote-unquote, plan is coming out, which these cowards, the Mitch McDumbbells and the Paul Shithead Ryans, Eddie Munster Ryans, are trying to hide from us. Because they know they simply want to eliminate health insurance. When they tell you they have a health insurance plan, that's all Orwellian, AIMSOC bullshit. They don't want health insurance at all for the rest of the country. They want tax breaks for their rich friends. That's what they want. So forget about all this other shit. All right? About anything they're saying, anything they're doing. Be aware that from here on end, there's going to be a fight. These people have to fight to stay in. And there's going to be a 2018 midterm coming up that we have to mobilize. And you're going to see, and this is where you have to really feel good. You see the hard time they're having in these southern places, these GOP strongholds. There's an old Jewish tradition, how much the more so, they call it. And if the Democrats are doing so good in fighting these creeps in their strongholds, even though they've lost, quote unquote, how much the more so are these people going to do, these Democrats, if they're progressive, consistent, going to do for the rest of the country? And all it's going to take is for us here in the grassroots to stand up and fight, to get in the faces of our local people, moron, especially if they're GOP, to donate money to the causes, and of course to take over that Democratic Party so it becomes a liberal, progressive party, because I don't believe Ossoff would have been so progressive. As is the other Democrat, what's his name, that guy, Manchin. Sorry, Manchin. So, please, folks, don't despair. The fight is on, and whatever they say whatever these GOP say today, they're bleeding. They know it. They got a creep on their hands who's on his way out, which will be followed by other creeps. But people are going to be, if they're smart, if they're sensitive, if they're responsible, in the next election, if we have one, they're going to kick these creeps out. And if the Democratic Party by that time has been taken over by consistently liberal people that are anti-corporate, we're going to see some great things in this country. Don't despair.